Hi. So I'm a little nervous. I'm a little scared. I haven't been the best at doing this. I haven't been the best at expressing myself and how I feel about you and what I think of you. And I want to be so much better at that. I am getting better. I am getting really better at this. And it's becoming a comfortable thing. And I want you to know that I want to make these changes not only for us, but also for myself. I just haven't liked the road I've been going down these past 10 years, 8 of them being with you, and you receiving the blunt of most of this negative energy that has been coming from me. I want to change that, and I will change that. The thing about relationships are that they are super complex and complicated because we're never really taught how to love. We're not taught how to, lift somebody up when they're feeling down, or to pay attention to the signs, or to be able to share a space with somebody without having everything come to an argument, how to diffuse situations, how to turn a situation from negative to positive. How can I switch our argument to something that's positive? How can I get us on the grounds of understanding to where we can move forward, instead of when we get in an argument, we don't move forward. We either stop talking to each other, or it gets kind of buried until it comes up again. And so, me to always be reading books on business, to be looking and listening to the news on stocks and things of that nature. I've always put energy into understanding that area, but I have never put the energy into understanding you. I've never put the energy into understanding relationships and how I can be a better man, a better person, a better friend, a better partner to you. I've never put that energy into that. And I see where I went wrong. And understanding how so many negative things I was really allowing to perpetuate. Arguments. I should have found ways to fix those arguments. I should have found ways to turn those negative situations into positives, to create a better line of communication so we get a better understanding of each other and we're able to move on, instead of us arguing and then it never getting solved. We just end up stop talking to each other, or it gets swept under the rug until it comes up again. I should have been more of a leader and more of just more of a person to step up to change whatever was going on. I shouldn't have been relying on you to say something to me first, because I'm allowing my ego to not want to say anything, not want to apologize. Like it was all ego. Like, I can't say I'm sorry. Well, I'm here to tell you today, Marina, I am sorry for being such an asshole, such a dick, being mean at times. And all this energy is coming from deep, dark places in me. And I was allowing it to affect us. I was putting it on you instead of me being a grown ass man and dealing with whatever issues I was having. I love you, man. I love you like dearly. And all those times I was just so piss poor at communicating to you, in the sense of never uplifting you, never saying, wow, Marina, you just look beautiful, because all these things that I was thinking is what I should have said to you, because I've always have felt like you were beautiful. I have always. I wish that was something that you never questioned, or the fact that I ever loved you. I wish that's something that you never question, because I've always loved you. Right? You've always been my rock. I've always been able to count on you. You've always been just my strength in times of when I was down. And that is something that I shouldn't have never taken for granted, because the way you make me feel, now that I'm able to express it, now that I'm more open with how I feel, being more communicative, you mean the world to me. And I'm just disappointed in my behavior and my actions and how I showed my love. I don't ever blame you forever for looking for love outside of me, because I damn sure wasn't showing it. But I just think a lot about where I went wrong, and the things that I did wrong, and the things that I allowed to happen where I should have nipped in the butt to get us on the right page and to get us moving forward. Because the way I think, I was one of those test people. Like in school, I was one of those people where I was never the first one done with the test. I would take the test and I would go through every answer to make sure it was correct and make sure it was the answer that I wanted to give. So I've always been super I've always been super, I don't know what you would call it, but I always want to make sure that I'm making the right decision. And I think because of that is why I took so long with everything. I took so long with moving in together. I took so long with finding a house with you. I took so long on taking steps towards marriage, because in my mind, I wanted to make sure this was right, that you were the woman for me. And it's overthinking. It's overthinking at times. So it's beneficial, but it can also be a hindrance. It's beneficial in the sense of, yes, going back on the test and making sure you didn't bubble the incorrect one. But sometimes I can get into my mind too much. And within our situation, it's been a detriment. Like, it's hurt us instead of been positive for us. I've always overthought it, like, oh, maybe, what if she's not the one? What if there's somebody else out there that's better for me? And instead of like seeing the girl in front of me, I'm so focused on the what ifs instead of trusting my gut. Because if I didn't care for you, I didn't love you, I didn't think you were good for me, there's no way I would have been around for 8 years. There's no way. So my overthinking, it was really uncalled for, and it slowed us up. It derailed us. Instead of me like realizing you love her, this is your girl, this is the type of woman you want, because you've always been the type of woman that I wanted. I want a woman who's loving, caring, selfless, that would put other people before her, that, is going to be a great mother. I've seen you with kids, you work with kids. Like, I've always known that you were going to be an ideal mother. You got a good head on your shoulders. You have always checked the boxes for me, always. And I never have told you that. And I should have let you know, like, Marina, you're everything to me. And I want nothing more than to create a family with you, or to have your parents be my in-laws, or your family to be my family. I love your family. The wedding that I just came from with you guys, I have a hard time trusting people. I like to feel people out. I take a while to feel people out. just, I think it's a trauma for my brother. Him dying has made my ability to be vulnerable very difficult at times. That wall can seem impenetrable. I believe I'm saying that right. Struggle with words sometimes. At times. So I, for the longest, was always almost like when you want to get into the pool, but the pool's kind of cold. So you stick your feet in first. You try to acclimate a little bit before you fully get in there. I think that's how I have always been. And finally at the wedding, I felt accepted by them. I felt like they were family to me. That was really one of my best experiences with your family. I was happy that entire time. Did I tell you? No. Hopefully there was times where you saw it, see me smile and stuff, but I'm a joking person, which you know I'm a joking person, but I can also be super anal at times. I get it from my dad. I could be super stiff at times, not stiff in a sense of not super open. Like I need to loosen up at times. So I just felt so comfortable then. I felt accepted because, I'm the only black kid around all the white people. So sometimes, when you're just a super minority in that sense, you're kind of like hesitant, like, oh, like, what are they thinking about me or stuff like that? I have my own insecurities at times. So I think I was just always on edge, and I had finally in that moment really, it felt like I was accepted by them and loved by them. And so I'm sorry, I'm freestyling this. This is coming straight from the heart. So sometimes my mind is wandering while I'm in the middle of talking. I'm trying to be as organized as possible, but but the point is that I should have never allowed you to question my love for you, how I felt about you. I should have never let you question that, because those are things you should never question. You should never question those. Your man should always instill in you that love. He should always instill in you that security. And I didn't give you that security. And I'm so sorry for that. So sorry. I promise to be a better man, hopefully someday down the road for you. Whenever you're ready, I'm going to be here because I love you, and there's nobody else in this world that I want more than you. You're my rock. You're my love. You're my best friend. I spent more time with you than I have anybody in my whole life, maybe besides my parents and my brother. And we have done everything. I feel like you know me better than my parents do. There's things that you know about me that they don't know. They only know some things as of recently because I've been vulnerable with them. I've been able to tell them that I've been depressed. I've never told them that I've been depressed. They wouldn't have the slightest idea that I'm depressed or that I'm feeling like I'm underwater because I'm going through so many things and are all hitting me at once. And I never told people, I never told my parents, I never told you, because I think people have always looked at me as somebody who has their shit together and me wanting to maintain the image of somebody that has their shit together when I don't. I'm juggling everything just like everyone else. So I never wanted people to look down on me like, oh, Corey doesn't have his shit together. Or because of where I come from, to tell somebody how you feel is a sign of weakness. It's a sign of a feminine trait to men in the environment that I come from. It's feminine to them to be able to express yourself, to be able to talk about how you feel and stuff like that. But what I'm realizing is it doesn't make me any less of a man. You know, I can still have my macho man side, but still also to be able to be tenderhearted and be able to be a teddy bear and be able to be soft and cuddly, especially with somebody that I love. All you asked for was simple things from me, and I fought you all the way. You asked for affection. Like, why couldn't I have given you affection? Like, I don't like affection. Like, I don't like to be touched. Like, I love every time you give me massages. Like, I love affection. I love to be touched. And why I was so cold and was so distant, it's hard for me to explain. I think maybe it's because of our arguments. And when we would get in arguments, I'm not really the type of person that can just like be like, okay, we argued, but I'm good now. It's like when we argue, I have to hold it against you for a while. I had to hold it against you for a few days. And I don't know why I had to be like that. I didn't have to. And that's just a sign of poor communication. Because really what it is, I'm distant because I'm holding something inside that I'm not telling you. And I'm constantly thinking about it, and it's constantly lingering, and it's constantly causing resentment. And then that resentment is just having a snowball effect to where I don't want to be affectionate with you anymore. I don't want to, be lovey with you anymore because I'm still holding that thing deep down inside. I'm still like, my mind is still lingering over something that I could have easily just expressed to you, that I could have easily just communicated to you. Like, Marina, this is how I feel about this. Why couldn't I have done that? I could have released that energy. I could have released it. Instead, I let that energy grow into something bigger that became divisive for us, that created division between us. Why couldn't I have just told you how I was feeling? Why couldn't I have just expressed and released it and felt so much better and would have been able to move forward and would have been able to still be loving to you, caring to you? It's just, I see so many areas of where I fucked up. And I definitely will make better decisions down the road when it comes to these situations again. Why do I have to flip off when I asked you to do something, you may not do it, and I just flip? Why do I have to get so angry about it? Little things. I realize it's not just one day you decided to get up and leave me. It was the little things over time. It was the little arguments that I let get way out of control that caused more and more resentment between us, more and more division between us. Instead of taking those negative chain reactions and turning them into positive ones to where I could have made light of the situation. For instance, if you asked me to take out the trash and you got home and you said, Corey, why isn't the trash taken out? I could have turned that situation into maybe something lighthearted, saying something like, I don't know, I was waiting for you to come home so I can put you in it. Just something jokingly, something to make us laugh. instead of, taking that negative chain reaction and turning it to a positive one. But instead it would typically be a negative chain reaction, and then it would just build from there. It would turn into an argument. It would turn into where we're yelling at each other. It would turn into where we're not talking to each other. And I should have never let things get that way. And how we see relationships, how we come to understand relationships is through TV. It's through our families, our parents, our friends, because we're never really taught how to be a great person in a relationship. We're never taught how to properly have a relationship with somebody. And, a lot of years I saw my dad yelling at my mom, or my mom yelling at my dad. So I see that I picked up a lot of those things. I picked up a lot of those bad habits that I saw from my parents, because that's a little bit of what I was learning from relationships, learning about relationships. I picked up the worst. Instead of picking up the positive things, I picked up the worst and just allowed it to perpetuate. So I just wanted to, talk to you a little bit today. I wanted you to understand that I love you dearly. I love you dearly. There's nobody else in this world that I would rather be with. There is nobody else in this world that I'd rather have a family with, to build something with, to share success with. Like, in my mind, you think that I didn't want all those things. I wanted it. I wanted it. I wanted it. It's just, sometimes when you're passionate about something, you can go into it with blinders on. And I was so passionate and so into investing because I wanted to set up a better future for me, for us. I'm tired of, finances being a reason we have arguments, or I'm just tired of finances holding back. So I've always been trying to make moves for 10 years down the road. And in that meantime, I was neglecting you. You're the most important thing to me. If we're not good, if our relationship isn't good, if we're not healthy, none of that matters. None of that matters. So I should have been making sure that we were good. We were on a good page. That we had the same ideas for the future, same plans for the future. And then, I could get into working on creating a more successful future for us. But I put our relationship on the back burner instead of putting that first. I just want to do things so differently this time. I just want to be a better man for you. I want to be the man that you have always wanted me to be. The man you always known I could be, but I haven't been. And I can understand you getting tired, you getting worn down by my behavior, my lack of care, my lack of love, my lack of respect, because I wasn't showing any of those things. Marina, see, I didn't want to do this. I knew this was going to happen, but I had to stop the camera because I knew this was going to happen. I knew I was going to start crying. But I love you, girl. I love you, baby girl. You are my best friend. And all my best memories come from when I was with you. Charleston for my 30th in February. One of the best times of my life. Mexico 2016. One of the best times of my life. Atlanta, Key West. Some of the best times of my life. And I want nothing more than to create more of those same memories with you. San Francisco. There's just so many memories that were so beautiful, that I love and I cherish and I hold dear to my heart, because they mean the world to me. You mean the world to me. And I pray that God helps you find your way back to me. I love you so much, baby girl. And I hope to hear from you soon, whenever you're ready.